Hi everyone, welcome to the joy of botany, especially plant physiology. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kiran. I'm a 5-year integrated BSMS student of ISO Thiruvananthapuram. I found this is a great opportunity to talk to you about some concepts in the plant physiology. Thanks to you guys for that. Without further ado, let's begin. Have you ever seen a bleeding plant? This is just exudates are coming out of the stem of the plant. This exudation may take hours to even days. I hope you have seen the accumulation of water droplets at the edges of leaves of colocasia, strawberry, etc. The physiology behind this is an exudation from the plant or accumulation of water is due to root pressure and guttation. We are going to talk about the significance of root pressure and guttation. So, the objective of our study is to know about the ascent of sap, to know the history of research of water movement and different theories of ascent of sap, to emphasize the root pressure as a modern concept of the ascent of sap, also to know the guttation, an outcome of root pressure. Before knowing about all these things, we have to understand what actually sap means. The sap is a dilute solution of water and mineral ions absorbed from the soil which moves upwards from roots to various parts of the plant. The process of translocation of sap from the roots to the top of the plant against the force of gravity is called the conduction or translocation of water or the ascent of sap. There are different theories which helps to understand the ascent of sap. I won't be addressing each of them due to the lack of time, but I will try to explain one of the fundamental theories which you might be interested in. That is the cohesion tension theory proposed by Dixon and Joly and the root pressure theory. According to the cohesion pressure theory, there is a cohesive force within the molecules of water. This cohesive force allows the water to form an unbreakable column. Dixon and Joly suggested that the transpiration pull reduced the negative pressure which allowed the column of water to rise up. This theory was accepted by most of the scientists. Now, the root pressure theory. Root pressure is the transverse osmotic pressure within the cell of a root system that causes sap to rise through a plant stem to leaves. This can be observed through an experiment. If a plant whose stem is cut from the ground up to 3 centimeters and a glass tube was fit tightly on the top of the stem, then one can observe that water starts accumulating in that tube. If the tube is connected with a manometer, then the pressure of the exudation of this liquid can also be measured. This pressure is known as the root pressure. Now, the cause of root pressure. The root pressure occurs in the xylem of some vascular plants when the soil moisture level is high either at night or when the transpiration is low during the day. At that time, due to the accumulation of mineral ions in the cell decreases or lowers the osmotic potential of the cell. As a result, the water is transported from the soil to the cell. The movement of water from the soil to the cell and gradually to the cells of the cortex leads this water to reach just before the cortical layer of the endodermis. In the endodermis, due to the presence of Casparian stripes, which is a suberized layer, the water failed to enter this layer. In the endodermis, passage cells are there, through only which the water can enter in the vascular region of the plant. The accumulation of water in the cortical region generates a pressure, and this pressure is transmitted to the passage cell to the xylem vessels. As a result, the water is forced up. This is a positive force. Now, the significance. Root pressure can transport water and dissolved mineral nutrients from the roots through the xylem to the top of relatively short plants when the transpiration is low or zero. In modern concept, root pressure serves as the starter and transpiration acts as a motor. Combined effects help the tall plants to draw water up to the top of the plant. Now, uses of root pressure for plants. Root pressure helps in re-establishing the continuous chain of water molecules in the xylem. Transpirational pull maintains the flow of water molecules from the roots to shoot. When root hair absorbs the nutrients, water, along with minerals, increases the pressure in the xylem. This pressure pushes the water up to small heights, root pressure is associated with the phenomenon of guttation. Guttation. What is guttation? Guttation is the exudation of drops of xylem sap on the tips or edges of the leaves of some vascular plants, such as tomato, grasses, colocasia, cucurbita members, balsam, etc., and several fungi. Guttation is not to be confused with dew, which condenses from the atmosphere onto the plant surface. Causes of guttation. When there is a high moisture level, water will enter plant roots because the water potential of root is lower than in the soil solution. The water will accumulate in the plant, creating root pressure. The root pressure forces some water to exudate through special structures, hydatodes or water glands forming drops. Chemical contents of exudates of guttation. Guttation fluid may contain a variety of organic and inorganic compounds. Guttation liquid is a solution slightly acidic containing many minerals such as nitrates and salts of sulfur, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, sodium, aluminium, chlorine, hexoses, and even enzymes like catalase, amylase, and peroxidase. On drying, a white crust remains on the leaf surface. Hydatodes. Hydatodes are made of a group of living cells with numerous intercellular spaces filled with water, but few or no chloroplasts, and represent modified bundle ends. These cells, called epithem cells, open out into one or more subepidermal chambers. These, in turn, communicate with the exterior through an open water stoma or open pore. The topic can be summarized as there are different theories of ascent of sap, among which cohesion tension theory of diction and root pressure theory combinedly help the plant to draw water up to a height of, say, even 100 meters. The root pressure also helps to accumulate water at the edges of the leaves, which is known as guttation. That's all for today's lecture. We will definitely continue with very interesting and exciting concepts in the topic plant physiology. I wish you a good day. Thank you.